वो दिन कितने प्यारे थे, ये दिन भी कितने प्यारे हैं। तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे, तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे। बाबा अब भी साथ हमारे हैं।
लेकिन बाप दादा ने देखा कि सेवा में लगन भी है और सेवा की गति में तीव्रता भी है, दोनों है। समय अनुसार हर प्रोजेक्ट या कॉन्फ्रेंस या सने मिलन को, कोई भी प्रोग्राम जो भी चलता है, उसमें सिर्फ समय प्रमाण टॉपिक को उसी रूप से रखना जरूरी, क्योंकि जिस समय किसको पानी की प्यास है और आप उसको 36 प्रकार का भोजन दे दो तो वो स्वीकार करेगा। तो प्रोजेक्ट कोई भी है, टॉपिक कोई भी है, लेकिन इस समय सर्व आत्माओं को चाहिए शांति और सने। शांति के भी प्यासी है तो सने के भी प्यासी, तो अच्छी सेवा कर रहे हैं। जो भी प्लान बनाए है वो अच्छी बनाई है, जो चल रही है वो अच्छी चल रही, रिजल्ट भी है और हिम्मत भी। इसलिए बाप दादा सेवा के समाचारों में सुनते हर्षित होते। और गीत कौन सा गाते हैं? बाप दादा गीत गाते हैं। कौन सा? वाह बच्चे वाह। और इस समय प्रोग्राम्स तो चल नहीं है, प्रोग्राम्स को नहीं रोकना है। रोक सकते हैं। अच्छा, अगर मानो कोई प्रोग्राम्स रखते हो और समस्या बदल जाती है, तो प्रोग्राम में आने वाले भी समझते हैं, जाने वाले भी समझते हैं। आप क्यों ना करो? दादा के बच्चे हैं ना, तो आप देने में, प्रोग्राम करने में ना नहीं कर सकते। आओ, भले आओ, खुशी से आओ, स्वागत करेंगे। बच्चे, मैं आपके सदा साथ हूँ।
Om Shanti. Transformation of old sanskars and old nature. Make a determined promise to yourself. Whatever your sanskars are over a long time, that becomes your stage at the end. In the world, when someone sheds his body but has had a sanskar of eating some particular food or wearing particular clothes, then, even at the end, those sanskars come in front of the soul. This is why the sanskars of forgetfulness and being defeated should now be finished. For this, make a determined promise to yourself that that particular sanskar or waste thought will no longer emerge. When you make such a determined promise, you will be victorious at the end. Now transform the old nature and old sanskars. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today is day 5. Transformation of old sanskars and old nature. Today's topic is make a determined promise to yourself. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. For transformation, determination is important. And we have to internally pledge to ourselves that I have to change my sanskars and nature if there are some sanskars and we are not able to transform, that means sanskars of attachment or greed or liking of some of the things, and so they definitely emerge in the end, and then those kind of thoughts come, so we are defeated. And Baba wants us long-term sanskars of victory with determination, and always, as soon as we find any sanskar emerging in the form of nature, in the form of thoughts, attitude, or words, as soon as they emerge, you have to immediately change them. But also cultivate the sanskars of being loving but not attachment. Once I am able to be free from body consciousness, it becomes very easy to remove all the traces of all the vices. This any subtle kind of ego, I can do, I am the best, I should be doing it, I did it, this whole concept of I, which creates subtle ego, also needs to be transformed into the pure ego of I, that I am a soul, Baba's child, sparkling light, I am diamond. So many beautiful titles Baba gave us, and we have to use those titles to create that nature in us. So any sanskar of getting that's disappointed or disheartened, keep courage, self-trust, have trust in Baba, and keep moving forward. Also long-term sanskar of success and victory, very, very important. So looking at whenever there are any challenges, then what kind of weak sanskar emerge. So immediately I have to notice that and change them into very powerful sanskars, because situations in the world are critical. So what Baba has told us is iron age, you are at confluence age, you have to prepare for golden age. So not focus on any of the situation, but transform yourself. As much you will focus on yourself, that much you will be able to not only bring transformation, but you will be able to cultivate very, very beautiful sanskars in us. So this month we are practicing transformation of nature and sanskar. Always maintain pure feelings, loving feelings, feelings of victory, feelings of Baba being with us. Keep increasing these feelings. So not only our nature but our sanskars will be such sanskars where, as Baba said, in the end, there should be just remembrance of Baba. In the end, like Brahma Baba, just cheerful and feeling victorious. So we have to prepare in a way that our nature and sanskar at the last moment are very pure, very divine. And nothing from the past is left, nothing from the old is left, but all are very, very pure and powerful. One of the nature is fluctuation in our stages. And very quickly, the sanskar of allowing waste thoughts to come. And actually that really need to be changed instantly. If there is a thought of doubt, change it into faith. If there is any fear, bring the courage. Whatever power is required at that time, immerse that power. if I need tolerance or patience, but not to have waste thoughts. Why, how will it happen or not? So these lot of wasteful thoughts also becomes the nature of the soul, because mind keep thinking, intellect keep thinking. But when you have determination and you promise to yourself that I won't have any wasteful thoughts, because waste is waste, right? But to use it, everything, every thought for a task, for Baba's remembrance, and remain very, very carefree, but not have concerns and wasteful thoughts. So look at your sanskar. What is the sanskar that such kind of thoughts come? Of course, from our past lives, there had been so many different kind of sanskars, and they emerge. That I am at confluence age, and I have to have my original eternal sanskar. I need to emerge the sanskar of divinity, purity. So reminding yourself of confluence age and where we moving, where we going, what destination Baba has given, or even returning home, there has to be total silence. There has to be total purity. That's what is actually going home and being in home. So use whatever on a spiritual journey is required and also have transformation. Om Shanti.
Transformation of old sanskars and old nature. Make a determined promise to yourself. Whatever your sanskars are, over a long period of time, that becomes your stage at the end. In the world, when someone sheds his body but has had a sanskar of eating some particular food or wearing particular clothes, then, even at the end, those sanskars come in front of the soul. This is why the sanskars of forgetfulness and being defeated should now be finished. For this, make a determined promise to yourself that that particular sanskar or vase thought will no longer emerge. When you make such a determined promise, you will be victorious at the end. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Avakti Parivar. So today is Saturday, and today is different because we won't have chit chat, but as in month of November, we having this new series with our dear angel brother Ken. So before we start our Avakti journey, I would like to go through tomorrow's program. Tomorrow is Sunday. This is to let you all know that tomorrow is the day for changing the time. Daylight saving, we will be changing our clock. In the night, we will get 1 hour extra. So before sleeping, change your clock, take 1 hour behind. And tomorrow, our schedule will be followed with the new timing. So just please make sure that your all clocks are set before you sleep. So our schedule will be Amrit Vela 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. 6 o'clock meditation will start, followed by Sakar Hindi Murli until 7:30. then meditation and bhog offering until 8 o'clock, and from 8 to 9:30 a.m. we will have Avik the English Murli. So evening will be 6 o'clock. We start meditation, followed by spotlight Drishti sharing, followed by English series and Awake the Journey. So that's our program for tomorrow. And now let's start our Awake the Journey. Welcome to Awake the Journey, living and serving with our Brahmin family. So now I would like to invite our dear angel, Brother Ken. Welcome.
Thanks so much, Bhumi Ben. Thank you all. I was enjoying so much Papa's Drishti and then the extract of the Morley, and also seeing everyone's faces, shining faces connected up. And as I said yesterday, I want to talk about something that Papa, of course, mentioned in the Morley about, just a sec. Baba said that we have to have love for service, and he was praising so much. I can remember the meetings that we were having around that time, and we were also intensely involved in the meetings, and Baba said, of course, what you're doing is great, but there's a lot of things that we have to take into account. And he asked us, what do souls want? They just want peace and love. But also we who are doing the service, we should do it with peace and love. And so this part that came up in the homework about having the determination to transform sanskars, part of that, it's not just having the determination or the power to put into practice. I have to understand exactly how sanskars work, how we are pushed and pulled by our sanskars. And just a sec, I'm going to turn this off. We are pushed and pulled by our sanskars. So what actually is happening? And when we talk about, the mixture of Sato, Raj, and Tamo there, Baba says that everything passes through that. And I want to share with you some images that will make it clear what we're talking about. So here we are. I want to share the screen. I lost the place. Here we are. Now, there are some truths that actually never change. And this is like, if I want to become more Sato Pradhan, I have to connect up with truth. And I have to think about true things. I have to think about, for example, the fact that we are souls from the world of souls. I have to think about how we are children, we're Baba's heirs, and everyone with whom I interact is also an heir. I have to think that and understand that it's through our sanskars, which are recorded in us, that we are sort of caught up in this drama. And the drama is actually completely synchronized with these eternally recorded sanskars. And if we want to make it to the end with the 16 celestial degrees of qualities, as Baba said in this morning's Morley, we have to change our awareness regarding how the drama works, how it's connected with our sanskars, so that then we can start to deal better with everything and everyone. And this is absolutely so important in the transformation. We were Sato Pradhan, we became Sato Pradhan, and now we have to become we became Tamo Pradhan, and now we have to go back to being Sato Pradhan. So all of those sanskars are in us at this time. So all of the sanskars of my 84 births are with me at this moment. So when I interact with the world and with people, there's a lot of, let's say, there's a whole library of possibilities of attitudes and thoughts that can come up from sanskars which are already in us. And as Baba says so many times, almost every single muli, there's something about this related to this, that everything goes through the stages of Sato, Raja, and Tamo, and these states are recorded in the sanskars. And my sanskars and all of our sanskars together make everything happen. So the world is sort of unfolding as our sanskars individually and collectively unfold. Now, what do we do? You know, where am I involved in? Like, what are the sorts of things that push and pull me? For what reason? Am I more caught up in my worldly tasks, my work, family, finances, home, or I'm more caught up in tasks connected with serving others, or am I somewhere in between, like here, you know, in between? Or am I mainly concerned with my spiritual development? Of course, we have to give attention to all of these things. But the thing is, I have to check these interfaces, you know. How much is my spiritual development being prejudiced? Or am I losing because of my extra attention on worldly tasks, or I'm caught up in service so much? That certainly seemed to be the message in the Murli when Baba was meeting and I was there. It was a very intense meeting, I remember, and Baba was just reminding us, wait a minute, what do people really need? They just want peace and love. And so there we are, busy thinking about service, or maybe when we get back to our place, we're connected with our worldly tasks, but we have to see how to balance the consciousness connected with those things. So this idea of Sato, Raja, and Tamo, right, they're sort of three states, and they're sort of coexisting at the same time, you could say. So at this moment, I do have Sato sanskars, Sato Pradhan sanskars. I have my divine sanskars, my original sanskars. I also have the sanskars that I developed in the Copper Age, and I also have the sanskars that I developed in the Iron Age, and especially the ones in this birth, the last few births, where the sanskars were the most impure. So I have all of them. I have the recordings of everything. So if Sato is the purity, the inner joy, Raja is sort of more movement, more passion, more involvement in things. If there's a lot of thoughts and a lot of actions and a lot of words, that's a Raja state. So doubts and things like that, which are not exactly vices, but they keep our thoughts rushing and our words sort of gushing out, and we often do many more actions than we need to do. And of course, the Tamo would be the stagnation, the ignorance, the inertia, slow, stopped even. And they're the sanskars from the Iron Age. So these things sort of work together. And Baba, I mean, many of the younger ones who've never even seen probably a record, this is a record, and Baba says that the soul is just like a record. And it's got all of these tracks in it. So, and Baba says that the needle of the record player is the present moment. So what is coming out now was already recorded. What came out is still on the record, and what will come out later is also on the record. But where the present moment is, that's exactly where the needle is. And so if I look at the soul like a sort of a, it's just a point of light, right? And it sort of, each of our births is like a layer, like I was sharing with you yesterday, the earth's cut down the middle. You can see the different layers, but the soul also has the layers. And if we imagine each birth, you can imagine 84 layers, right? I couldn't do 84 layers in this diagram. And this outer core is the present birth, right? So where am I in all of this? Where is my interest? And I've put it in such a way that you can see the original sanskars are here. And the soul, maybe the consciousness is stuck up in the surface bit. And when we interact with others, look what happens. We've got this Sato part of us, then we've got this Rajo part of us, and then we've got this Tamo part of us. And there are some influences, of course. Matter, of course, all of our Tamo Pradhan sanskars are on the surface, so they easily are stimulated by matter, by other souls. And of course, Baba comes and he tries to get us to bring out from the depth our best. And when we're sort of interacting with other people, right? With the interaction maybe between my sanskars, my Tamo sanskars, and the Tamo sanskars of the other one, or I can be interacting with their Rajo, said they're running around too much, I can't keep up with them. They're speaking too much, I can't understand them, right? But Baba wants us to connect up here, soul to soul, so that I need to have a Sato relationship with everyone. It's not my Tamo sanskars interacting with the Tamo sanskars of the other one. We've seen what sort of things can come up in that sort of relationship. And it's not, it's not my Rajo with the Rajo of the other. I have to start to interact with people's most elevated qualities. And harmonizing with others is actually harmonizing between our deep qualities. It's not about, it's not about just this sort of thing. And so I have to sort of, and what happens when we get into contact with Baba? Baba brings the best out of us. I am the soul, right? And I just put myself in front of Baba. I just take out just his presence brings my high sanskars to the surface. And I come back and start to shine those sanskars. So it's really, this sort of living, my physical body is in the physical world, and I'm looking through my eyes at the physical world, and I'm shining out the best of my qualities, but internally, I'm connected with the source. Baba's the ocean of peace, the ocean of love. I just connect up and I start to radiate those qualities. Basically, that's all we have to do. It's such a beautiful exercise to remind ourselves that in my original state, I'm very similar to Baba. Not equal, but similar, right? I'm not the same as Baba, but I have similarities. And just staying in his field brings out those qualities in me. So it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing to be able to experience. And so in body consciousness, and of course, I'm connected up with the physical world. If I'm body conscious, I'm in Kali Yuga. I'm not in the confluence age anymore. And so just body consciousness itself activates the sort of more Tamo sanskars. And this affects my attitude and vision. This affects my actions, and it strengthens any bondages, and it strengthens the Tamo characteristics. And it sort of reinforces itself. I just go around and around this cycle in which body consciousness and the connection with the physical world, which of course everything I see and can touch and I can listen to, everything, even the body is in a Tamo Pradhan. So everything is Tamo Pradhan at the moment. So if I forget Baba and I just stay in body consciousness, I'm just stimulating my impure sanskars, and that will affect my connection with others, right? So when I'm soul conscious, on the other hand, I have this connection with Baba, then that automatically activates my pure sanskars. And that helps me have a pure attitude, a pure vision, and pure action. And this strengthens. I move towards karma-atit state and just more Sato Pradhan state. And again, that feeds on itself. So I remember I'm a soul, I connect with Baba. It starts off a virtuous cycle. If I forget those things, if I forget Baba, I go back to body consciousness. It actually stimulates the reverse of all of those things. So, here I am. And as Baba was saying in the Muli, but he was talking about circumstances, situations. I start off with a good intention, but actually what happens, I get sort of mixed up in between, right? I get sort of caught up in here somewhere. My intention starts out very nicely, but it gets sort of mixed up in the middle. So my reaction to someone or to a situation, that's how the virtues become vices. What starts off as unlimited love here, it becomes a very limited form of love here in the form of attachment and so on. So it's really a very subtle thing that my connection with others, I can connect from my Sato to the Sato in others. And then the relationship will be fantastic. Very light, very pure, very clean. But if I'm connecting up with their Raja or Sama sanskars, that will just stimulate the same thing in myself. So if you're thinking about someone's defects, be careful, because you're seeing something that's actually in you as well. That's why you recognize it. So if you think about someone's defect, the Tamo and the other one is making you more Tamo. If you're concerned about how worried someone is, or how did he use the expression fluctuating? Fluctuation's a very good signal of a Raja state. You're fluctuating, you have doubts, you're caught up in the spin of something. You're not actually having impure thoughts, but you become a little bit lost. So I'm watching someone's fluctuation, I'm also fluctuating. If I'm concerned about people's doubts, I'm also caught up. It's like the Raja in me gets stimulated. Doubts are like more Raja. Most of us have gone beyond the grosser forms of the vices, but the subtle forms, too much thinking, too much action, too many words. I think most of us are still having to deal with that, at least from what I can observe. So I have to start to become, if I want to become Sato Pradhan, I have to connect up with whatever is Sato Pradhan around me. Now, nothing that I see and touch and feel and hear is actually Sato Pradhan. But the truth behind, Baba says the truth is hidden. So if I make the effort to see what is true in every situation, I'm staying on track to become Sato Pradhan. And I can extract the Sato out of things and people. I have to make that effort. Then I can guarantee that I'll be able to get along with other people better, and I'll be able to harmonize better, and I'll be able to really just move beyond things. So let's finish off with some meditation now. That will play a song. These are some thoughts. So be careful about getting caught up in the Raja and the Tamo of people and things. Try to connect up with what is true about people and things. And there is truth behind everything. There are lessons that I can learn. I can learn what to do, and I can also learn not what to do. And these lessons will reinforce truth in me, and therefore my Sato sanskars. That's the process. We can make it easier for ourselves. So let's have some meditation now.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much, dear Brother Ken. That was a wonderful sharing. So now let's remember Baba, and we'll take Drishti from our dear angel Brother Ken, and then we will do our homework meditation, and we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you tomorrow again. Om Shanti.
तेरी याद का दीप जले मन में, एक जोत जगे इस जीवन में। तेरी याद का दीप जले मन में, एक जोत जगे इस जीवन में। रहता है कमल जैसे जल में, रहता है कमल जैसे जल में। मैं मुक्त हूँ तन के बंधन में, तेरी याद का दीप जले मन में। सचमुच वो घड़ी बड़ी अद्भुत, तेरे ध्यान में जब खो जाता हूँ। सचमुच वो घड़ी बड़ी अद्भुत, तेरे ध्यान में जब खो जाता हूँ। अंबर के पार बसा है तू, सा है तू, पर अपने पास ही पाता हूँ। देखूं मैं तुझको चिंतन में, तेरी याद का दीप जले मन में। एक ज्योत जगे इस जीवन में, तेरी याद का दीप जले मन में।
Transformation of old nature and old sanskars. Make a determined promise to yourself. Whatever your sanskars are over a long time, that becomes your stage at the end. In the world, when someone sheds his body but has had a sanskar of eating some particular food or wearing particular clothes, then, even at the end, those sanskars come in front of the soul. This is why the sanskars of forgetfulness and being defeated should now be finished. For this, make a determined promise to yourself that that particular sanskar or waste thought will no longer emerge. When you make such a determined promise, you will be victorious at the end.
पुरानी नेचर व संस्कारों का परिवर्तन। अपने आप से दृढ़ प्रतिज्ञा करो, जो बहुत समय के संस्कार होते हैं वही अंत की स्थिति रहती है। लौकिक रीति से जब कोई शरीर छोड़ते हैं, अगर कोई संस्कार दृढ़ होता है, खान पान व पहनने आदि का, तो पिछाड़ी समय भी वह संस्कार सामने आता है। इसलिए अभी से ये विस्मृति के अथवा हार खाने के संस्कार मिट जाने चाहिए। इसके लिए अपने आप से दृढ़ प्रतिज्ञा करो कि यह संस्कार, यह व्यर्थ संकल्प कभी भी उत्पन्न नहीं होने देंगे। जब ऐसी दृढ़ प्रतिज्ञा करेंगे, तब अंत में विजयी बनेंगे। ओम शांति।
Om Shanti, everyone.